doing? So I guess when we look at broader perspectives, it's really important to look at the situation around this area and to take into consideration all these promises that have been fulfilled, that like city officials or the province or all sorts of companies and corporations have promised to protect the land, and where that's been broken. And that's happened so many times, and we need to realize that we need to start like watching out for that. We've got examples in like Tynanega, for example. There was a provincial dump that wasn't testing their dump properly to extract the leachate that was getting into the water. Well, eventually now, half the houses there can't drink the water like from their taps, and a quarter of those houses can't even shower in it. And that's because of the province, and that still hasn't been fixed. We've got examples where the Grand River, if anybody's seen the situation there right now, the fish in the Grand River, their scales are burning off, there's ovaries in male fish. Like, what does that mean? Scientists say there's only so much a river can take, and the Grand River is pushing that. This is only part of it. This is like the tributary that's going into it, and we need to watch out for things like that, because this is where it starts. In London, Ontario, we have 3 times more PCBs in the ground than anywhere else in Canada put together. The amount of cancer that creates is like disgusting. Okay, and we've got examples of like the Dolime Quarry over here in Guelph, and just look at the Speed River. Like, this is all connected, and we need to start taking that into consideration. People go through legal matters to take care of things, but I don't think it should stop there, because I think I'm not saying that we should all just do really illegal things. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we need to start looking at how much we're pushing, because there's so much environmental destruction around us. We need to look into how they're testing things, and to really question that, and to look at who suffers. It's not the companies who suffer from building things on environmentally sensitive pieces of land, or who use mercury. It's us. It's our water that we can't drink. It's our soil that's going into the food that we're growing. It's this is our land. When they say this is the city's land, are we not the city? What's that supposed to mean? And I think that's really important to take into consideration. We have a lot of situations right now around Canada where people are fighting, and I think it's really important to let people know of that. Right now in north near Barrie, dump site 41, there's a blockade that's happening there to prevent, it's currently people have stepped down, but there's been people minimum age 60 who have been trying to stop people from coming in to build a dump site on top of some of the world's cleanest water. Scientists have been baffled by how wonderful that water is, and how much is basically only H2O. And these people who are minimum 60 are getting arrested and being told to turn themselves in for what? For protecting the water. And Cayuga, I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but Cayuga is a dump near Brantford where people have been working on it for a long time to stop it, and basically there'd been proof that there was leachate had gone into the soil and contaminated it, and there wasn't proper testing as to how it affected the groundwater. Yet they still wanted to go ahead with it. And a while ago, people blockaded that from coming in. There was arrests that day. People were arrested for standing up for their own water, first of all, and now they're talking about reopening it again. What does that mean? We need to start to really assess where this world's going, and specifically where our cities are going, because you can look at examples of every single city across Ontario and really find out problems and promises that haven't been kept. All of our resources are dying off, and people aren't paying attention to it.
So we're in the exceptional situation where the courts have temporarily rewarded the initiative and wisdom of people who have refused to recognize the city's appeal to property over our need for a living earth. As hard as people try to own this land, our relationship has always been one of belonging to the earth. And we should not expect to be rewarded for halting development and participating in the processes of social and ecological restoration. People all over this continent are stopped at gunpoint, jailed, and killed for doing what we are doing. by the same forces that selfishly jeopardize the health of the natural world, of which we are one small part. So this is not a matter of protest, but a matter of necessity, that we create a viable world through every aspect of our lives.
I think we also just wanted to mention too that the support that has been coming from so many sectors of civil society has been absolutely incredible. Like, we have had, I think there was there's been various polls on the Mercury. The public opinion on this issue has, I think, really rung true, that people do not want this. Who owns this land? The city owns this land. What are the people saying about that who live in this city? We've also received support, we've received a letter from the Haudenosaunee, the Haudenosaunee, which is a council of the Six Nations of the Grand River, demanding the city to cease and desist this development project, out of a recognition that this tributary is connected to the Grand River, and so any contamination or anything that affects this tributary here is going to be indirectly affecting the Grand River. And so I think this is actually what has happened today with this injunction, with the city, or with the courts basically granting an injunction that we have filed against the city to stop work. This has just been another point at which the movement to protect this space has catalyzed again and is relaunching. So I think we're, while the injunction that has been filed by the city against us here has been granted, like, it's kind of just fine. Like, we're just here to stop the work. If the work is being stopped, I think we've made a really good move in the direction that we want to see this go. So yeah, we're really impressed and grateful for all of the support that we've received. There's, as you can hear, as we've been here, there's cars coming by, beeping their horns, people waving. Several times I've been here when, a mother and her 4-year-old have been baking cookies all morning and brought us like a big bag of cookies. There's people that are dropping off supplies every day, keeping us here, supporting us to maintain this presence on the land. So while you only see a few of us up here at the front today, there's a whole backdrop of people who have enabled this to happen, who support the tactics that have been employed in this situation, and who are committed and determined to helping grow this struggle as well. So,
can I say how they can get in touch with us?
Maybe you could say that.
Okay. I just want to say, to keep this going beyond this occupation of this site, any listeners out there who are hearing this or whatever, get in touch with those of us involved with this by checking out our website and emailing us. It's a bit impersonal, but please give us an email, hcbpoccupation@gmail.com. Get in touch with us and let's further these connections and keep this going, because this is not at all the end. That's basically it.
Got a couple more thank yous. I think it's also really important to thank the folks who have done research about this site and who have been working against it for years and years and years. This couldn't have happened without that. By far, the public wouldn't have known how bad this was if it wasn't for them. And that goes to not just people working on this, but people who are opposing development everywhere, and who are paying attention to what's happening. And also to the people who have inspired us for this, because this idea isn't one that we invented and has proved itself to be quite effective. So yeah, thanks for the inspiration to everybody.